A man walks into a crowded train station. Nothing about him stands out. No panic, no confusion. Just calm, almost unnatural calm. But within minutes, everything changes. Because when the police question him, he doesn't give a name. He doesn't ask for help. He simply says, "I'm from a place called K-PAX." And the way he says it makes you wonder, what if he's not lying? They bring him in immediately. No identification, no history, no explanation. Just a man who claims he isn't human. So they do what the world always does when something doesn't fit logic. They label it delusion and send him to a psychiatric hospital. Because that's where we put things we don't understand. But from the moment he arrives, it becomes clear this isn't going to be a normal case. The man calls himself Prot. No hesitation, no doubt, just Prot. When doctors observe him, they expect instability, but instead they see composure. He walks normally, speaks clearly, thinks logically. There are no signs of a broken mind, only one impossible belief, that he's not from Earth. Dr. Mark Powell is assigned to evaluate him, a man of science, a man of logic, someone who has spent years understanding how the human mind breaks and how it rebuilds itself. He believes in explanations, because there's always one. So when he sits down with Prot, he expects to find the crack, the flaw, the moment where the illusion falls apart. But instead, he finds something much more unsettling: consistency. Prot doesn't argue, he doesn't defend himself. He simply answers every question with calm certainty. Where are you from? K-PAX. How did you get here? Travel. When are you leaving? Soon. There's no hesitation, no confusion, no sign that he doubts his own story. And that's what makes it dangerous, because most delusions eventually break, but this one only gets stronger. As sessions continue, Prot begins describing his world, and the way he describes it feels real. A planet bathed in constant light, multiple suns stretching across the sky. No darkness, no fear of the unknown. A place where beings don't lie, because there's nothing to hide. No governments, no wars, no power struggles, just existence in its purest form. And as he speaks, something strange happens. You don't feel like he's imagining it. You feel like he's remembering it. Dr. Powell listens carefully, at first analyzing, breaking down every word, looking for inconsistencies. But slowly, something changes. Not belief, but curiosity. Because Prot isn't trying to prove anything. He's not asking to be believed. He's just telling the truth. At least, his version of it. Then comes the moment that changes everything. Prot begins talking about space, not vaguely, not philosophically, precisely. He explains planetary movement with exact calculations, predicts alignments down to the second. So the hospital brings in experts, real scientists. They question him, test him, expecting him to fail. But instead, he answers everything, corrects them, even explains concepts they themselves struggle with. And for the first time, doubt enters the room. Not about Prot, but about reality itself. But Prot's true effect isn't intellectual, it's emotional. He begins talking to other patients, not as a doctor, not as someone trying to fix them, but as someone who sees them, truly sees them. A woman who has stopped eating begins to trust again. A man trapped in fear starts to believe he can change. Prot doesn't give therapy. he gives understanding. And slowly, the hospital begins to feel different, lighter, like hope has quietly entered the room. But for Dr. Powell, this only makes things worse, because now it matters. He needs to know the truth, so he digs deeper, searches records, tracks clues, until finally he finds a connection, a name, Robert Porter. A real man with a real past, but a tragic one. A life filled with pain, loss, a moment so devastating that it could destroy a person completely. And suddenly, everything makes sense. Prot isn't an alien, he's an escape, a personality created to survive unbearable trauma. But just when the answer feels complete, one question remains. If Prot isn't real, then how does he know what he knows? How does he predict what he predicts? And why does his presence feel so real? From the very beginning, Prot made a promise that on a specific date he would leave Earth. At first it sounded ridiculous, but now no one is laughing, because the closer the date gets, the more uncertain everything becomes. The day arrives, tension fills the hospital. Doctors prepare to prove the truth, but then, in a single moment, Prot disappears. No escape, no explanation, just gone. One patient is missing, gone with him, and in Prot's place, Robert Porter remains, alive but empty, like whatever made him whole has left. So what really happened? Was Prot just a defense mechanism, or something more? A visitor who came to heal and left without needing belief. Some stories give you answers, but the most powerful ones leave you with questions. And maybe that's exactly what this story was meant to do. Like and subscribe for more mind-bending recaps.